We think crushing footy.
The Barossa Light and Gawler Footy League.
It's the Flow Friday night sports show, and time to talk Barossa Light and Gawler football. Now, Flow Man, last week, BLG crew, they had the week off.
Yeah,
well,
Kym,
the footballers did.
Well, they did. The girls went down to the country champs, but the guys didn't. We talked about that to Kym last week.
Yes.
And he's with us now. Kym Vivian from the Gawler Central Footy Club, coach of the under-17 and former star player too at SANFL and also in BLG level. How are you, Kym?
I'm good, thanks, guys. How are you?
Going well, thanks, mate. Did you enjoy the weekend off?
Look, I did, yeah. I got plenty of stuff done around the house, and but yeah, I think I'm definitely ready to get back into it though. 1 week off is enough.
What did you do with the kids through the week to try and keep them interested?
Look, my challenge this week as a coach was to try and time training just right so that I could actually implement enough training to get enough out of it without getting wet. Sweet.
I love it.
17's got an easy training night, I reckon, just between us. And that's not what Kym Vivian would normally give them, that is for sure. But getting to senior football, and it is a really, really important weekend for the Barossa Light and Gawler. We're back into it after what's been a very interesting couple of weeks.
It certainly is. Now, Kym, I'm going to quickly fly through the ladder before we bring up this round of matches, just to remind everyone where we're all sitting. So South Gawler top of the ladder at the moment, 7-1, Angaston 6-2, but I've got to say they've been teetering the last few weeks. Nuriupa 5-3. This is where the logjam is. Tanunda also 5-3. Williston 5-3. Kapunda 4-4. Gawler Central 3-5. So not much between third on the ladder and seventh on the ladder. Go down to Barossa districts who've only had the one win, and Freeling, who are yet to break their duck in the A-grade competition. So with that scene set, Kym, there are some very interesting games of football planned for this weekend.
Yeah, definitely there is. It's a really interesting competition this year. I think probably the standout to date, now that we're on the back of the first round of games, would be South Gawler, obviously with them sitting at the top. But as a fair bottleneck building for those, probably you'd say the last two spots, third and fourth in the top four over the coming weeks.
Yes, it looks that way. So with that logjam between third to fifth, all on the same number of wins, Nuriupa, Tanunda and Williston, a couple of really big, important games. First of all, Gawler Central, who are 3-5. It's almost a season-defining stuff, this one. You guys should beat Williston easy, shouldn't you?
Look, I'm not even privy to the players that we've got back. I know that the boys had a fairly in-depth team meeting on the Tuesday night. I reckon personally, when you look at this, it is a make or break for the boys. If they can't knock off Williston this week, just to give themselves every chance. I think that might be curtains for the season for the boys, because you start to rely on other sides losing. So.
Yeah, exactly.
You
the other side's losing. We've still got you there, mate. Looks like we've got Kym gone. So you go through that. So a couple of sides, some of the players there on each side. We'll see what we can do about getting Kym back to us.
Yeah, all right. Well, first of all, we've got Molyneux, who's going to be really important for Gawler Central. Looking forward to that match up in the middle of the ground. Of course, Pilkington's a star. We know that Mercer is pretty good as well. And Searle is the interesting one there for Gawler Central. They'll be looking for him, the two Searle boys, to get the job done. For Williston, Pretorius, I always pronounce that wrong. The Mackenzie boys as well will be important, and Fraser, Elbro, they've all been named in their best at certain times this year. So it's going to be a very interesting game of football, but for mine, it's Williston that gets the job done over Gawler Central here, simply for a couple of reasons. One, Kym Vivian has been giving it to them all year, and I'm sure they would very much enjoy the opportunity to end their season. So Kym's gone, we've lost him. So we'll continue working our way through these ourselves, Flowman, because one of the other interesting games is the unders. I like this. The Kapunda Bombers taking on Tanunda. This will be at Kapunda, and this is a really important game for Kapunda as well, who are 4 wins, 4 losses. Tanunda are on that 5-3 that we talked about before. So if Kapunda don't win this at home, it starts to get away from them. And as we know with Tanunda, it's all going to depend on just how many of their ex-AFL stars are going to line up.
The Westhoff connection, I think, is where you're heading with that. But it looks like when you go through their team, all 3 are named against the old Kapunda. But they've got Dodd, who's played some football down in town and a very good player on Kapunda's side of it. And look out for Zanadra. He's been in great form. Very, very good player. And but I think too many good players on the Tanunda side. So, Kym, your tip between Kapunda and Tanunda as we welcome you back.
Hey, yeah, sorry about that, guys. I'm not sure what's happening. Technology is a wonderful thing, isn't it?
It is, when it works. Kapunda and Tanunda, who do you like?
Gee whiz. I reckon we'll go Tanunda.
Tanunda, all right.
He's gone with the Westhoff's connection there. You wouldn't have heard that little piece of information. South Gawler and Newry, match of the round stuff. This has got it all written over it to Kym. Newry, a really good side and playing better football in the last 3 or 4 weeks than most, but South Gawler have set the pace early.
Yeah, look, I've said all year I've got a bit of a soft spot for Newry being my Smoky this year, but I had it on pretty good authority. I ran into somebody in Gawler Main Street before that South Gawler have 0 injuries. So unlike probably the other 8 clubs in the competition who are battling to get reserve sides together with the number of injuries they've got, I reckon South will win that comfortably.
Yeah, if you can pull that off this close to finals, that's always a good thing. But the final match of the round, of course, is Barossa District and Angaston. Now, Angaston, before the break, were teetering a little bit. Haven't been all that good over the last month, but they still find themselves second position on the ladder and should be good enough to beat Barossa District.
Look, I would think so. It was only probably an hour ago I ran into an Angaston person as well, and they were just saying that they've got 5 or 6 injuries. Somerton out, who's hurt his hamstring again, and will be out for 4 weeks until after their couple of buys coming up. But, like I said to them, you should still have enough depth there to get over the top of Barossa, and I think Angaston will win that one.
Hey, you're running into all these people from other clubs. You haven't ran into anybody from Williston by any chance after some of the comments you've been making on the radio, Kym?
No, that'll probably happen tomorrow, won't it? So I'll fill you in on that next week. Might maybe be sporting a couple of black eyes or, rock throws to the back of the head. You know what they're like.
Oh, Jars is going to line you up good and proper. Get out of the way of the great man. But big game of football for everyone involved at the dog track at Gawler Central. Bit of moisture about it. It's going to be a good weekend of BLG. And Kym, we look forward to your comments on it when we bring it all together next week.
Happy to fill you in, boys. Talk then.